Shalom Shemini, Shabbos Parshas HaChodesh, the last of the four special Parshios before Pesach. This week, next week, it's Shabbos Mevorchim. This Shabbos also, of course, it's Shabbos Parshas HaChodesh. So Shabbos Mevorchim, we're benching Rosh Chodesh Nisan, which gives us about 2.5 weeks to Pesach from now. Unbelievable. We have so much to do. We have so much to think about. We have so much to prepare. And you know, the number 8, Parshas Shemini, it was on the 8th day. The number 8 in Judaism connotes something very, very interesting always. The 8th is always something beyond. You know, there's 7 days of the week, and then the 8th, once you pass 7, you go to 8. That's a special, special place. 7 weeks of Sphira. Once you pass that, 7 Sphiras in the 7 Sphiras that we know, that Chachma, Bina, Das, and all those. Once you the Sphiras, once you pass that, we're in the 8th. The 8th is a very, very special thing, something that is beyond. And 7 notes in the music, right? So you have 7 notes in the music. So the 8th note is already on to the next stage, something very, very special. And this week in our Parsha, the Yom HaShemini, we know from the Chanukas HaMishkan, very, very special. And it gives us an idea when we're talking about the 8th and moving on to the next level. So now we passed Purim, we're getting to the Chodesh Nisan, and we have to take ourselves, step up to the next level, not live in a regular life, to understand that the Yom Tov of Pesach is coming, and when the Yom Tov is coming, we have to be different people. We have to do something special. And our lesson really of how we can do something special is a lesson that I want to bring from the Nesivos Shalom, but it's a Nesivos Shalom on Parshas HaChodesh. It's not Nesivos Shalom on this week's Parsha, and it's the Nesivos Shalom on Parshas HaChodesh. And there are some lessons from the Nesivos Shalom that we speak about multiple times during the year. And we've spoken about it multiple times over the years. You know why? Because those lessons are extremely important. And it's kedai to touch upon them and to speak about them every single year. And it's something that we never get tired of hearing. It's something, it's part of the Nesivos Shalom, that Nesivos Shalom is a very, very, is a confidence builder, very, very positive sefer, a sefer that tells everyone that you're never lost and you're never bad and it's never over. There's always hope. You can always do, and you never count yourself out. And that's the way the Nesivos Shalom is always. They give us very, very powerful and inspiring, life-changing perspectives in ways how to build yourself and give yourself confidence. And it helps us go forward. And really, that point is really what makes the Nesivos Shalom so beautiful and so powerful to learn. And why, Baruch Hashem, we are 720 some odd shiurim straight, Baruch Hashem, weeks, and we never get tired of it. We're always looking forward. We're always building on what we know before, and we're always improving ourselves. And the Torah tells us by Parshas HaChodesh, and this to me is really one of the most, I don't want to call it important, because every lesson the Nesivos Shalom gives us is important, but the Torah gives us a lesson of hischachos. Parshas HaChodesh. HaChodesh hazeh lochem Rosh Chodeshim. This Chodesh, Chodesh Nisan, is for you, for Klal Yisrael, Rosh Chodeshim. And it's the Rosh of all renewals. We know that this Chodesh, the Chodesh of Nisan, is misugel for that. Everybody likes segulas, but some people only like segulas if it's going to make you rich, or it's going to, give you something in Gashmias. But the month of Nisan is a month that has a huge segula. It's misugel for renewing, for doing something new, for renewing yourself. And we're able to renew things, says the Nesivos Shalom, in our lives that we don't have hatzlacha with the whole year. Every person has their things, their struggles, their things they want to work on. And many a time, the things that you want to work on, dafka, those things you have the hardest time with. Because it's possible that that's the reason you were put in this world, and you know you have to work on something, but you have the hardest time with it. So it says in the Nesivos Shalom, sometimes the entire year you could be frustrated because you're working on something, and you're trying to build, and you're trying to get better, and you're trying to change, but it's difficult. It's people have a hard time doing that. So comes in Nesivos Shalom and he tells us, even with those things that we have a difficult time with during the year, Chodesh Nisan comes and there's a special segula in the air that what you were trying to work on, if you're mispalel to Hashem and you work on it, this month, Emir Hashem, you should have atzlacha with it. And the Torah tells us, HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem, that the Lochem, HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem, this Chodesh is here for you. It's here for you to use. It's here for you to take advantage of. To take advantage of what you could get out of this Chodesh. And this comes around not just then, HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem, in the time of the Mishkan, in the time of the Midbar. HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem is every single year. But because it comes around every single year, we need to be awake and we need to be thinking people, because otherwise it just passes us by every year. So we're giving everyone ample warning that in a couple of days is going to be Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And this Shabbos we're going to bench Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So start thinking about it tonight. Erev Shabbos Kodesh of this week, Erev Shabbos Kodesh of Parshas HaChodesh. And now is the time to start thinking of this theme. And the Pasuk also tells us that, you know where it tells us, not always does the Torah give us a geographical location of where something was said. And over here, by HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem, the first Pasuk tells us that it was Be'eretz Mitzrayim. That this Parsha of Parshas HaChodesh was said in Eretz Mitzrayim. And you know what that lets us know? When it tells us that it was in Eretz Mitzrayim, it's letting us know that just like in Eretz Mitzrayim, where Klal Yisrael unfortunately had sunk down 49 levels into the Mem Shari Tuma, and still HaKadosh Baruch Hu took them out of Mitzrayim. Still HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave them all the things and did all the chesed with them to take us out of Mitzrayim. So the Pasuk tells us that this Parshas HaChodesh, this his Chadshus, this renewal is the same again at this time of the year, that no matter where you're holding, no matter how low a person may have gone, and no matter where you may be, if they were able to get out of Mitzrayim when they were Memtesh Shari Tumah, so too it comes around every year that we have the opportunity this month to take steps up in our levels of Kedusha. And if we're down a little, if a person is down a little, or even if you're down a lot, this Chodesh you have special Siyata Dishmaya to make you move up, to make you move just like they did in Mitzrayim. HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem. This month is for you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu set it up for you, that in Yonim of Lochem, Lochem we always refer to, Nesivos Shalom refers to many times, Lochem means the Gashmi is part of a person where we're always doing, right, we know Yom Tov, the Gemara tells us by Yom Tov Chetzi Lashem, the Chetzi Lochem. So people are always very concentrated. We know about the Chetzi Lochem part. Lochem is the Gashmi part of you. So HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem, this is the month that you could take your Gashmius, you could take your Lochem and turn it around into the service of Hashem, where we could work on controlling our Taivas and our Gashmius. And really, every Rosh Chodesh, we should know that every Rosh Chodesh, we get a special way and a special day to come back. As we say in davening on Rosh Chodesh, we say in Musaf, Useshuas nafsham miyad soinei. Says in the Nesivos Shalom, the word soinei could also mean referring to the Yetzer Hara, Soine, which is hated. So Soine is Yeshua's Nafsham. We get a Yeshua from the Yetzer Hara. We get a special Yeshua every Rosh Chodesh to fight the Yetzer Hara. But this month of Nisan, this Rosh Chodesh, this time of the year is what we can refer to as the mother of all Roshei Chadashim. Whatever you get on every Rosh Chodesh, the Yeshua that a person is able to get every Rosh Chodesh, on this Rosh Chodesh of Nisan, whatever Hashpois Hashem sends every Rosh Chodesh, this month of Nisan has even more. Because Nisan, as we know, is a time of Avas Hashem. And it really works both ways. If we have Avas Hashem, then Hashem in turn loves us even more. And we need to know that we have to be, every person has to be in the driver's seat when it comes to this time of the year. You have to be ready to move. When Rosh Chodesh Nisan comes, you can't start thinking about it. Preparation a couple of days before really, really helps. And the Nesivos Shalom says something very interesting. He says the first 10 days of Chodesh Nisan are like the Aseres Yemei Tshuva. What does that mean? We know Aseres Yemei Tshuva is between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So to us, that makes sense, right? Between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, what does a person do? A person does Tshuva. The Nesivos Shalom says the first 10 days of Chodesh Nisan are also Aseres Yemei Tshuva. And he says like this, he says in Tishrei, the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are Aseres Yemei Tshuva Miyira. There's a fear, there's Emes Hadin in the time of Tishrei. But in Nisan, these 10 days, which correspond to those 10 days, are the Aseres Yemei Tshuva Me'ava. Comes from a love that we have for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and in return, the love that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has for us. The days of Geulas Mitzrayim, the Chodesh Nisan, are Yemei Ahava. So the first 10 days are the Aseres Yemei Tshuva, where we can do and accomplish things just like an Aseres Yemei Tshuva, but it's different because it's even on a higher level. It's Tshuva Me'ava, which is the highest level. And these are days where we see the great love. We're going to come in a couple of weeks. You can sit by the Seder. We're going to talk about Yetzias Mitzrayim. We're going to talk about, everybody feels it in the ear, the great love that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has throughout the generations for Klal Yisrael. And this is when we concentrate on it, when it comes to the month of Pesach, and the month that Hashem chose us. In Nisan, when Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim, when we really didn't deserve it technically, HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose us. We became the Am HaNivchar. That Klal Yisrael, you as Jews, you have special treatment. You have a different equation. Everything works different. So if it's in this month, there's a tremendous ahava, and there's a cycle that comes around. The Jewish calendar and the lunar calendar comes around in cycles. And all the hashpois that were then in Chodesh Nisan, they come around now. So too, at this time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes down, He comes here, He comes to get us. He tells every single one of us, it's time to come back. It's time to come closer. I'm giving you special opportunities and special siyata d'shmaya to accomplish the things that you want to do. So every one of us, let's prepare ourselves now for Rosh Chodesh Nisan. What do we have? Another 4 or 5 days to Rosh Chodesh Nisan. You're going to come, you're going to say the Hiratzon, you're going to bench Rosh Chodesh, you can ask for Chaim Sheish Banu, Ahavas Torah, Yirah Shemayim. Of course, you can ask for Oisha V'Chavod also, but we have to know where our priorities. Oisha V'Chavod to do what? Not to build a $20 million house and have more Gashmias and more things. No, that's not the Oisha V'Chavod we're asking for. We're here. We're a couple of days before. Let's take advantage. Let's make this Chodesh Nisan. Klal Yisrael needs so many Yeshuas. Let's make this Chodesh Nisan a month that we could grow and we could accomplish. It should be a month of Geula. I just want to mention that I was asked to announce that tonight's shir is a schus for Refuah Shalema. Somebody was just here in the Bika Cholim house before. Schus for Refuah Shalema for Levi Usher Ben Rachel. He should take out Refuah Shalema, and it should be a month of Yeshuas for all of Klal Yisrael.